Hello fellow wealth builders and welcome back to the TruFinancials channel. My name is Dennis and today we're going to be talking about saving money versus paying off debt. But really quick though, if you are new to this channel, I do like to talk a lot about personal finance, investing, and retirement to help build your wealth. So definitely consider subscribing today and don't forget to hit that little bell icon to get notifications when new videos do come up. So if you've been following this channel for a little while, you do know that I'm not a fan of debt personally myself. So I am on the side of paying off debt, but there are of course some contingencies on that. So we want to go into that in this video here today. So the first and foremost, let's kind of go with an example today to kind of make it a little bit easier. So we have a little bit of a visual here on the side. So let's say that you get a bonus from work of $2,000 aside from your normal paychecks. And let's say you have an $8,000 debt. So if you were to take that $2,000 and pay that off, you would owe only $6,000 left on your debt, and then you would have obviously zero left over from what your original balance of your budget is. Now, if you don't have an emergency fund, what can end up happening is actually some really bad stuff, because if there's an emergency during that time, let's say you have tires pop, a refrigerator go out, or you have to go to like an urgent care, all of a sudden, you might have to go back into debt, which is, reverse of what you're trying to do. So that's not a great thing. So essentially what we're wanting to do is, in this question, it's kind of a little mixed. You want to actually first save some money, so an emergency fund. You can get one of those set up very easily. And then also too, the emergency fund, you kind of want to have it a small amount, somewhere around $1,000 to $1,500 to cover most basic emergencies, nothing massive, but just a regular thing. If a tire pops out, it's a couple $100 there. So if you have $1,000 to $1,500, you're protected in that amount. So if we go back to our scenario, let's say that you got that $2,000 bonus. You want to put $1,500 aside or $1,000 aside, whichever way you decide. Let's say you put $1,000 aside. Then you can take that other $1,000 and attack the debt from $8,000 to $7,000. And then when you can, add more to it to keep that amount going down faster. But what that does for you is it gives you a safety net so that if something were to happen in between your paychecks, you have a little bit of money set aside so that way you can pay for those emergencies. And that's really going to help you out. If you're kind of on the side of like hoarding a little bit of your money, so let's say you have like $10,000 set aside and then you have an $8,000 debt, my encouragement would be to take, $8,000 of that money that you have set aside and pay off that debt, because the interest that you're paying on most of those are going to be quite high. I know car payments can be a little bit lower in interest, and then homes can be lower in interest, but when you're looking at like credit cards or consolidation loans, you are paying high interest rates. So the money that you're having to pay out for the loans is going to be way higher than you're going to most likely earn on the money just sitting there, whether it's in like an online bank, because even those as of this recording are typically under 1%. Or even putting it in the stock market and potentially getting, 8, 10, 12% versus, credit cards are 17 to 22% right now as well. So, if you have a lump sum that's higher than what your debt is, but you would still have some reserved money left over, I would encourage having that moved over and paying off that debt. So hopefully that answers that question for you, whether you should save money or pay off debt. So it's a little bit of in between. You want to have a little bit of money saved aside for an emergency, and then you have the rest of it to be able to pay off your debt because of the interest that you're paying on it. You want to get rid of that as soon as possible, so that way you can, after paying off all your debt, build a lot of wealth, be able to, purchase things that you want, be able to invest, and then be able to, retire really, really comfortably and not have to worry about your finances. All right, and leave me a comment in the comment section down below what you decide to do if you came to this video kind of not knowing which way to go, if you're going to decide to have a little bit of an emergency fund and then start attacking debt, or if you're just going to still stick with going and attacking your debt without having any emergency funds set aside. So let me know. I'd be curious to find out some of those answers. And also, too, if you do have any additional tips as well, leave those in the comment section down below. That way we can all help each other. And also, thank you, fellow wealth builders, for watching, and have a great day. Into this video looking for, whether you should pay off money or additional tips, a little while on this channel, so you of saving some money